Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. Well, howdy, friends and floor heads. It is Saturday afternoon here on the East Coast, Saturday evening in other places, and it is time for public access. It has been way too long since episode 5. A lot has transpired, but many of you are watching it back to back. Where we left off is we went through our night move. We watched an Odyssey tape. We had Cody playing a message backwards to pick up another clue on a record player that Mike provided. But most significantly, Richard said during the dusk phase that he wanted to connect with Cassie about a clue that was found that said Cassie is next. You called her, Richard, and she was a little disappointed you weren't asking her out. But she finally kind of roped you into taking her out tonight. So how are you getting over to the castle home or the March home? Sorry.
I'm gonna have to take a taxi, so it's not gonna be the same taxi phone number we found from an earlier clue. But hit the yellow pages and find a taxi, come scoop me up and head over to her house.
All right, so let's have the taxi pulling up. Maybe it's about 10 o'clock at night.
Let them know address or left, right, left, etc., and get me there as soon as possible.
All right, will you pull up front?
Knowing what room is hers, I'm going to try to find some pebbles in the front yard and try to do the whole 90s. Let's get her attention.
No boombox?
Oh, I left that at home. Shit. Okay.
Richard, I need a night move. And I want this with reason. But before you roll it, what are you afraid is going to happen if you get caught?
Wake up her dad?
It's the wrong room.
Definitely going to wake up her dad. So if you get caught here and you fail this roll, you're definitely going to wake up dad. But it's worse than that, because not only are you going to wake up Otis, her father, but Otis is going to make it critical and unnegotiable that you will never be able to speak to his daughter again.
See how well that works.
Let's go ahead and do a night move with reason.
It's reason.
So is this that same night after we watched the Odyssey tape?
This is still the same evening. Yep.
Okay.
All right. We got a success button on your night move. So you come around the corner and pebble, dink, dink. And you break the bottom pane of her glass. How do we feel about that, Richard?
Not great. Yeah, not great at all. Richard freezes for a second, finds maybe a bush just in case if he has to go jumping into the damn thing to hide. But he's going to keep his eye on, see if that shattered glass finally wakes her out of her sleep or whatever.
I'm going to give you a condition as a result of the partial success. That condition is going to be, let's say, reserved. So I think that you kind of like taking a chance here and kind of busting out and doing something. Suddenly you're like, ooh, boy, maybe I should have just gone through the front door. So Cassie pulls up the thing. She leans out and she goes, what the hell?
I'm sorry. I need you down here. I need to tell you something.
Oh, okay. So you come around back front, and Otis March opens the door and goes, I expect her back here before midnight.
She's 23. Dude.
Gerard's back at the house.
Yeah. I'm commentary on this game.
I expect her home before midnight.
Yes, sir.
God, Dad. And she kind of shoves him a little bit as she comes out. And she goes, all right, where are we going?
Cassie, we need to get you to safety. There's something I got to tell you about. Let's go to
but I'm hungry.
Let's go to the diner where we met. What was the other skater kid that wound up dying?
Wound up dying?
No, he didn't die.
No,
almost
you mean
scared the death out
what's
of
his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Cassidy. So all right, so you're gonna take Cassie. You guys can walk to the diner from here.
Okay.
So as you are, on your way there, she's like slides her hand onto yours. She wants to hold hands while you guys are walking.
Richard's definitely afraid of women, and so he lets it happen, but doesn't say much, doesn't get the hint, doesn't take the clue. And
now there's a skip to her step. Right now she's holding your hand and kind of your hands are swinging. So you guys get to the diner. You're seated, and she orders a big plate of nachos.
Nice. I like it already. All right. Richard's gonna get a coffee. To be honest with you, he's getting a coffee and I don't know, it's crumb cake or something that's on the bar. Before the plate arrives, I'm going to grab her by the hand because this is, in Richard's eyes, it's life or death about what he's seen. And says, Cassie, I got to tell you something pretty significant. I don't want you to freak out, but you're one of the few that I actually care about here in Deep Lake.
She leans in.
God damn it.
I like you too.
Cassie, I like you too. And I'm sorry, but we visited the where your car was messed with, and we found a sign that, or some evidence that said that you were next.
Like your next girlfriend?
No, Cassie. I think you're in danger with all the stuff going around.
But you'll protect me?
That's what I want to get at, is I think you need to possibly stay with us until we figure out what's going on and stop this.
Whoa. Okay, hey, like,
nice.
should we go out a few nights before I sleep over? I mean...
Cassie, that sounds great, but there's bigger things happening right now. Cassie, I need you to understand that we have convenience stores that are burning down. We have people being attacked, and weird stuff is happening. And this is a reoccurring thing that's happening. Your family has a history. You know that. This is something that I'm deathly afraid is going to affect you right now. When I see a sign that says you're next, what am I led to believe?
Okay. But I don't want to sleep in your room. Not yet.
I'll actually let you have my room. I'll sleep on the couch. In with all respect, but with your stepdad not understanding what's going on and not believing it, how is he to protect you if he doesn't understand?
Oh,
Does
okay,
that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, but after we eat though, I'm gonna have to like get some clothes and stuff. You'll walk me back to the house.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So you two
Did
lovebirds
we talk about this?
have coffee and nachos, and Richard, being a gentleman, pays the bill. She does not reach for the check. Let's cut to our two lovebirds walking home. It's night, suburbs of Deep Lake. There's street lights. It's kind of quiet. As you whoa, not what I wanted to happen. Sorry about that. JK. As you guys are walking,
Okay.
you see a figure under the next street light. And it seems like that figure kind of comes out of nowhere a little bit. It's a person. The way the lighting is with the street light, though, it's really hard to really see who they are, right? It's almost more of an outline or a figure. And Cassie stops and she kind of looks to you, kind of like, do you see this? And the person goes, hey, sis, it's been a while. She grabs your arm.
I think Richard would freeze at this moment to figure out what the hell is going on. That's a lot to process. And I think he's frozen.
So this person walks closer. We can now assume it's Benji. He's in a kind of like the type of smock that a person at a hospital would wear. We can see embroidered. It says Benji Castle on it. He's got this kind of retro bowl cut, a cut you would give a child, right? A child that grew up in the 80s. Not something you'd expect to see in somebody in their early 20s. And he starts walking towards you and he goes, hey, Cassie, why don't you run home? She's like, Benji, you're supposed to be in the hospital. I'm all better now. Why don't you run home? I want to talk to your friend.
I acknowledge that that's the best for her because I have no idea if this guy's safe or not at this point. So yeah, Cassie, go.
I'm not going anywhere, Benji. I'm staying right here. And she grabs, like, now she's got both hands kind of just gripping the shit out of your right arm. He's continuing to slowly walk towards you.
I look Cassie dead in the face, or straight in the face. Cassie, you've got to go. Run home. Let Otis know. Is that his name, Otis?
Mm-hmm.
Let Otis know what's going on. Let him know right now. I've got this. I promise. Go, go, go.
Do me a favor. Let's do this as a day move. And I think it's going to be what do we want to do there? Composure? No.
Best at? No.
Let's do it with presence. So let's do a day
Okay.
move with presence. She says, are you going to be okay? I don't think he's better. He says he's better. I don't think he's better.
Cassie, it'll be okay. I promise you, it'll be okay. Go, go, go.
So she kind of cuts into the lawn, right? Stays away from the sidewalk and kind of goes past Benji. And as soon as she's like outside of Benji's reach and out of his sight, you see her take off running. I'm going to give you another condition. I want you to pick up the condition worried. Benji continues to walk closer to you. What are you and your friends doing?
Benji, I'm trying to protect your sister. I hope you know that.
I already protect her. So I don't understand why you're here.
Why are you here, Benji?
Do you remember when you started stealing from the arcade when you were a teenager? You remember how you would clean out the machines and keep some of those quarters in your pocket? Do you remember that?
How do you know that?
Do you remember it?
Yes.
See, that's being a bad boy. And we're trying to clean up this world. And I don't think you should have bad boys like you. You now see the butcher's cleaver in his right hand. It may have been there the whole time. You just didn't notice it, but you definitely see it now because it reflects off the street light. He raises it up. I'm going to need a night move. I'm going to want it with vitality. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this roll?
I'm not going to dodge. I'm going to get got.
Yeah, you're going to get hit pretty bad. Pretty bad. You're a meat cleaver to kind of the clavicle. But it's worse than that because I think if you fail this roll and he takes you out, his next target is probably going to be Cassie because he thinks in his mind she's been working with you. So let me get a night move. Whoa! Full success with an 11. Now, if you want to turn a key, we can make that a 12 plus. Or do you want to save those keys for the next time you fail a roll?
That's 12 plus would put me in getting a tape.
There will be
extra benefit or advantage.
Yeah.
We have a tape though.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Doesn't need to be tape necessarily. I believe tape is on a day move. This was a night.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the options if I upgrade and turn a key on this is advantage of some kind,
be an extra benefit, right?
An extra benefit of whose choice? Because I know where your mind's going. No, let's let it lay because who knows what's going to happen.
So what happens then? So we see him come down, trying to hit you with this butcher's cleaver. What do you do? How do you escape?
I got an idea. Richard takes a step back and whoa, 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 whoa. Am I able to turn this into a monologue-ish?
You successfully have stopped him from swinging. He's got it
Benji,
up halfway.
You know better than anybody else. People make mistakes and you grow and you get better. You know this. You know this. Of course, I made mistakes when I was younger, but guess what I did? I worked hard and I got better. We all can get better. You know this.
Officer Barker says you're still bad. I might be all better, but I don't think you are. Because Officer Barker would have told me if you were all better.
What do you know about Officer Barker? Because Benji, I know who created Officer Barker. And I pull out one of those signed. Crap! What did I get signed? news clippings or a little cartoon. Look,
What do you mean you know? I don't understand.
Officer Barker isn't. He doesn't have to force you to do bad things.
Officer Barker doesn't force me to do anything. We're cleaning up the world. Officer Barker says that it's dirty and it's full of dirty, bad boys and bad girls. And it's going to be much better.
Benji, I'm not a bad boy or girl. I'm trying to protect your sister. I genuinely care about your sister. I look both ways to see if Cassie's around. I love your sister.
I'm going to need another night move. I think it's going to be a disadvantage, though, because of your condition worried.
Okay.
What are you afraid is going to, and this is going to be, so well, give me a sense of what we're trying to do is convince him, right, that he doesn't have to listen to Barker, not to hurt you or his sister. So I'm thinking, I think
one of my motives is to also stall him as long as possible because I know Otis might be on his way here.
All right. So I'm trying to think of what makes sense for me here. I'm okay with presence, composure, or sensitivity. But before you roll, what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Any progress I've made to try and convince him goes to zero. It's it's that meter that of building trust, and then blop, no, he flips that switch and knife comes cleaving after me.
Yeah, it's worse than that because Otis is going to show up, but it's going to be Otis's last night on Earth. Let's go ahead and do a night move. What are we going to roll it with?
I'm thinking composure because I'm getting very creative and really trying to hard sell him on speaking his language.
And make sure you choose the radio button for disadvantage, which means you're going to roll 3 dice. We'll take your 2 lowest because of your worried condition. Go ahead and switch that off disadvantage before you forget. Success, but all right. So he lets the butcher cleaver fall to his side. So it's no longer up. He's no longer threatening you with it. And he says, I think I need to talk to Officer Barker again. You can see in the background a man running your way. You're going to assume it's Otis. And Benji sees you look over his shoulder, and he looks back over his shoulder and sees it and darts off across the street.
Richard's going to scream towards Otis, "It's Benji! It's Benji! He's got a cleaver! Go get him!" And I try to help him direct.
So Otis keeps running towards you, and by the time he gets to you, Benji's faded off into the darkness, and he goes, "That was Benji?
That was Benji. Where's Cassie?
She's back at the house. What?
We gotta protect her. Benji said she could be next. We gotta protect Cassie.
Go back to your house. I will make sure she's safe." I'm her father, for Christ's sake.
Okay, I will.
He grabs your shoulder and he says, "Look, kid, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what's going on with you and my daughter, but I appreciate this. I appreciate you sending her home.
Richard's not going to head home. He's going to slowly, cautiously go in the same direction as Benji went. I know it's going to be some time that has passed talking to Otis, but see if there's any kind of clues or anything that might direct me to where he is, and maybe where he communicates with Officer Barker, something to help the situation.
Yes. So let's do this. Once Otis kind of gets out of the way, I think most rational people at this point would call a cab, which you don't. And you kind of go across the street where you saw Benji disappear to, and you saw him kind of go around the corner into the next block. You come around that block, and let's go ahead and do a meddling move. I'd like that with reason.
Okay. Real quick, Craig, my condition of worried, was that worried about Cassie's safety or worried that for my own safety? What is...
Yes.
I think actually, with that being said, if it's both of our safeties, I don't think Richard would have gone that route.
Gotcha.
You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yep.
So we'll backtrack that. I apologize.
That's all good. That's all good. So let's we'll montage you coming home, getting into bed. The other three are already asleep. And let's go ahead and go to the dawn phase. Waking up the next morning. Who's up first?
Cody didn't sleep. He hasn't been sleeping that night.
Really? Why?
Because all of these things are happening at such a fast rate. Cody came here to investigate something that he didn't even 100% believe was real. It was really just kind of a gimmick to get his own shtick going, and things are very real. And for whatever reason, last night's tape is kind of like the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
He's not doing well. He's been online the whole time. He hasn't been asking questions. He's just reading things online. His mind is racing. So he heard Richard come home and all that. He didn't interact with him at all. He's just been in the dark corner of his bedroom, just surfing the web.
So between Richard and I think Jared would wake up first. I think Richard put in a late night. So Jared, what are you doing this morning?
I guess I'll skip the beer this morning. Try some orange juice instead. But yeah, I don't think Gerard has good breakfast habits necessarily. So I just get up and just go straight to the couch and kind of wait for people to come out.
So you're sitting on the couch, and behind, it's facing the TV, right, where you've been watching these tapes, and behind that is a big pane glass window. And as the sun rises more and hits the glass, you realize looks like something's been scratched into the glass.
All right. Let's take a look.
You stand up, you walk over to the glass, and someone has taken another piece of glass or something and has etched words on the glass. And either they did it from the inside or they did it in reverse on the outside, because you can read it.
I'm gonna touch it to see if I can feel
it's on the outside. So it was written in reverse on the outside. And this is gonna be another wild clue for you. The message etched into glass is: reflections lie, shadows speak truth where you find them. Mike, you wake up, you step out, and you see Gerard staring at the window.
What's up, Gerald? What's happening? Why aren't you getting a breakfast or something?
Same shit, different day over here.
Oh, okay. What you got there? What's wrong with the window?
I didn't do it. I just walk away. You're right. Mike, I should eat.
I guess same old. Same old Gerald, I
Yeah,
guess,
with
as usual.
SSDD.
Cody, you
Okay.
may not wake up, but you are up, and you come inside. And Richard, let's have you both kind of come into that main living room kitchen area at the same time. It's morning.
How was the date?
Yeah.
Richard just goes and sits at the little kitchenette bar thing that has maybe those weird old wood ornate like columns holding up the cabinets, and sits there and fiddles with whatever's on there just in deep thought, and responds to Gerard. I saw Benji last night, guys.
You mean our Benji?
Benji Castle, the one that Cassie's brother, the one that killed her
So
parents.
What? Are you
From
you
where?
saw him in person, like during the evening, like he was with you at the diner place or wherever you went, or?
He came at me with a cleaver and tried
You
to.
okay? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I was able to.
And Cassie,
dodge it.
is she okay? Was she with you when you met him?
Yeah, Cassie and I were walking home from the diner. I was going to try to bring her here to keep her safe, and Benji shows up out of nowhere, and we were able to convince, or I was able to convince Cassie to run home and let her father know. And I was able to stall long enough. Otis came running and ran him off, but Benji said that he's trying to cleanse the bad boys and bad girls of the town. Like, it's some serious shit, and he made it very clear that Officer Barker is controlling him or telling him what to do.
And then police came, or how did you?
Yeah, where is he now?
I have no freaking clue. He ran off into the dark. Otis, I let Otis know everything of what just happened. He promised to take care of Cassie and to keep her safe, and beeline straight home. So I don't even know what happened. I don't know if they went out of
We're
town.
calling. Do you have their number? We're calling Otis right now. Like, why are
Please.
we even talking
Yes,
about
here's the
this?
number.
Like,
Yeah,
Call,
there's a
call. I'm freaking
Murder
out.
on the loose this whole night, and
You let us
didn't
sleep
feel
through
like
that?
waking us up.
I'm calling. I'm calling the number immediately as I get it.
So you're calling the March house, right, where Cassie
Yes.
Cassie lives. So
Yes.
it rings, and a woman picks up. She goes, Deborah Marsh.
I realized that I was not interacting with them at all. So I'm like giving it to Richard back. Like,
Hello?
Yes. You called me.
Mrs. Marsh? This is Richard.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, Richard, are you okay? Otis told me everything and what you did, and you said that the man that confronted you, you told him that was Benji.
It was Benji. Where's Cassie right now? She at home, or?
Yeah, she's at home, but we called the hospital last night, and Benji's there. He's still comatose. He's still not talking. He's non-responsive. So I don't know. And Cassie says like she never got a good look at his face. And she wonders maybe if she got confused. But we're gonna keep her safe. So whatever it is or whoever it is you saw, don't worry. My husband's got us covered here. And I think you should be careful too. But that couldn't have been the March the Castle kid.
Mrs. Marsh.
He's not a kid. He's an adult. He's in the hospital.
No, I completely understand that, but with all the things going on in town, please consider you, your husband, and dear Cassie getting out of town for a little bit, please.
I don't think that's a terrible idea. I'll talk to Otis about it, but you keep safe.
I will do my best, but I'm going to continue to try to figure this out to ensure Cassie is safe here.
Just
My goal is that you can get her out of town while I do my side, and and I let her know about all these little clues and things that had Cassie's name on it, and this is why I'm worried, Mrs. Marsh. Like, with all due respect, this is why I'm adamant about hopefully you leave town, and I will continue investigating and trying to keep her safe here.
and I appreciate that, Richard. I'm going to go talk to my husband, but you take care, okay?
Mrs. Marsh, here's my pager number. Call out to the old school. Let me know if you need to get in touch with me.
Will do, son. She hangs up.
What a sweet lady.
Who pages you that you need a pager?
I was one time a big deal around here, Gerard. You know that. I get hit up at least once a month, and do it
by your pager.
By my pager, yeah.
I don't believe that, but
I have a failing
we're worried
old
about-
school arcade, so having a pager on my hip isn't the biggest surprise of my personality traits.
Oh, I believe that you have the pager. I don't believe you've ever gotten a page.
Oh, gotcha. It clicks. Yeah. Well, Richard, it doesn't click to Richard, but as a player, it clicks.
Okay, if we're worried about their safety and the threat is Benji and Officer Barker, then we need to figure out. We need to.
And I presume you share the information what we heard about Benji being in the hospital.
100%.
So,
yes. Make that very clear.
So, does it make sense to go check up on Benji or find if there's some CCTV, like monitoring the hall through the night, so we can confirm what the nice lady was saying from the March residence?
Yeah.
I think we need to do that. Absolutely.
We're heading up to the state hospital.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cody's been awfully quiet.
And yeah.
What are we doing, guys? We came here to investigate some TV station, and here we are wrapped up in some serial killer arsonist drama. I like living, guys. This is all a little bit too much for me, I think. Yeah, I'm
think
just
we can just
flummoxed by the
walk away
situation.
from this?
Why not? Why?
I recall making a very similar point yesterday morning.
Yeah,
Cody,
I mean,
imagine everybody leaves to their house, you watch the TV, and you will see one of those tapes playing, even if you don't put the tape in. What would you do then if that happens? Right?
I think
something is happening here. Some nonsense. We must deal with it.
We've dipped our toes in now, so it's on us. So if we leave, we're taking that with us. If we don't resolve whatever's going on.
You what? Taking with what? What?
The stain
wanted
of
some
this town.
fun. I came here for some footage, to investigate something that I thought might be a little light, maybe visit my hometown.
That's what you
all
wanted, right?
fine.
You wanted to find
Thank you.
ghosts.
Cody, just think how cool you'll be when you start uploading all the content from this. That's going to take you up to another level with Ghost Bros. You will be the Ghost Bro.
He has a point,
That would be pretty cool.
Point.
And he's so annoyed at how right Richard is.
That said, I don't want us all to pressure you into doing something you don't feel safe doing. If you need to take some time, then we'll understand. We're all. If you stay with us, then we're together. We've got each other's backs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just Richard has a cleaver in front of him one night, and we're just gonna go visit the guy who did that. I don't know.
It's a state-run facility.
It's comatose. Come on, it was probably someone else. That makes it difficult.
The odds that we're actually going to get in a room with him at all are slim.
And there would be 4 of us and only one of whoever that is. With a
Why don't you just
keeper,
give
so
it
that
today
makes it
and then
2
see
maybe.
if you feel better?
Richard, did you explain the entire night like in detail to us?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't hold back.
Okay. So this dog man is real? Like, we saw it on a TV show, you know? Like,
Well, something is affecting the people here.
it could be
We
the
thi-
water,
and-
right? Like chlorine or something. I don't know.
It definitely could be. But I mean, we're just taking Richard's word of Benji's word, somebody who's been in a hospital for 15 years, supposedly comatose. Like him saying that Officer Barker is real doesn't make Officer Barker real.
I don't like this, guys. I don't like anything about this. I mean, it was creepy, but a little fun when we met Elliot. But since then, what? I'm just all right. Fine, hospital. Let's go. I'll just keep my mouth shut.
I mean, I agree with everything you just said.
So let's cut to the 4 of you guys pulling up and parking at the hospital.
I will up you one more. Before we enter the hospital, I would like to use my latchkey move next Sunday AD.
Oh, good.
Ooh, and this is new from your level up. So let's
Okay.
read off what this next Sunday AD does.
So once per day phase, you and at least one other player can do an out-of-character narration out of an upcoming scene, as if you were doing the running commentary during a movie. At least one thing from your shared narration will be true about the upcoming scene. Tell the keeper what it is. The keeper can decide to make other elements from the narration true as well.
So who are we going to do this with, Mike?
So I will make a narration with Kyle. Let's try to do it.
Great.
All right.
When I was picking up the skill, I was thinking, like, who will suffer with me to go? So I can imagine it's like Truman style show that we're doing a commentary of something happening. It's like a blueprint of the hospital, slowly zooming in and transitioning like into different parts of the hospital of what's happening. And so as we can see, our players are getting to the hospital, so they are just in front of it. But maybe let's see what they can see inside before they enter. What do you think, Kyle? Where will they go first? Who do you think they will meet? Do you think they will immediately go to Benji? And if you look at Benji, you know what's happening there.
Well, I imagine us going right inside to the front desk to find out the lay of the land. Maybe not specifically asking about where Benji is, but we don't ever even get those questions out because there's a Barker mask on the table, on the desk.
So we're going to take 2 breaks on this session. Let's go ahead and take our first 10-minute break. We'll be back. Oh, that's amazing. So Vaslav, Mike, and Cody, let's finish up our narration. So we have the interior of the front lobby of the state hospital. There's a mask of Officer Barker as part of Cody's commentary.
Oh, so that's good, Kyle, that you pointed this out. I wonder if our players will notice this as well. But if you look on the outside next to the trash bins, whoa, who can we see here? I believe that's the kid. I think they call him Casey. Casey is also next to the hospital. I wonder what he's up to. I think it will be nothing good. What do you think, Kyle?
Wait, you said, is he in the trash can or like beside it?
Yes, like snooping around in the trash cans.
Okay,
Like
all
again,
right.
maybe he's trying to get in. I don't know.
I had a very different visual.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I see is the more we look at Casey, he's digging through the trash. He's trying to find something, but his hands are covered in a black liquid. The same liquid, or something very similar to the same liquid in the jar that was found. And
I wonder if Cody's going to smell it.
And the more that we look at this scene, we notice that his fingerprints have touched a few things. There's black fingerprints all over the front, the desk, and it's not just him either. There's the person at the front desk that works the hospital also has this black stuff on her hands. And the more we look, we notice that there's also some of it coming out of her ears.
Holy Christ. Okay. So you guys get to pick one thing of all the things we said in our setup of this scene here. One of them you get to decide is true, and I have to adhere to it. So of everything we just talked about, what's the one truth?
Do we let the guys who didn't describe it to pick what is the truth? So we
your
get this
move,
kind of...
Mike.
Yeah, I'm open to you choosing, Vaslav. This is your action, your mistake of performing this.
Okay, let's make... Oh, the mask is so good in the lobby. I want Casey to be there because I have and the reason is, and I hope I get to it, because I have a special move with when I consult with Casey. But this might be a good opportunity to tie it together.
Craig is also free to take extra stuff from the scene that he likes.
Correct. But I have to adhere to Casey being there as well. The doors slam on the car. You guys are in the parking lot. And as you start walking towards the state hospital, Mike, someone's waving at you from the side by the dumpsters.
Who's that? Like, Mike is like trying to recognize. Give me a sec, guys. I believe it's Casey, probably. And Mike approaches the person waving frantically.
Hey, dude. So I've been here for hours. I've gone through all the trash. And I think that the Benji kid, the Castle kid that's here, I think he set me up. I think he's the one that did the destruction. I think he's trying to set me up. And I think it's because I've been hitting on his sister.
But you've been hitting on his. Forget about it. What did you find out? Like he's supposedly comatose. Like what? How would he?
Dude, I've been going through the trash. There's a lot of trash, and you look in this like side of this thing, and the dumpster. Everything that's in the dumpster is spread. He has made a huge freaking mess. Torn open trash bags. There's just garbage everywhere.
So, and I would like to do a meddling move with Casey. So, what? Okay, what did you find out there? Like you made this like living hell. I hope nobody sees me here.
So let's use your special.
What did you find out?
You have a special meddling move. So let's read off to the audience real quick what it does.
So when consulting Casey regarding kids and young or Oh, Kitsune. I get extra clue.
All right. So this will
And
be a meddling move. I want it with. Let's do it with presence, right? Like we're trying to convince Casey here to kind of share his findings with you.
presence, I will double check roll mode normal. Yeah.
Yep.
Presence.
It is a miss.
Is it though? Let me check my keys. I don't want to put all this effort. Yeah, I will turn a key.
All right. So by turning a key, and we'll talk about which key you turned later, by turning a key, you upgrade that from a miss to a success. But so he goes, dude, you are not going to believe this. Come here, come here, come here, come here. So he brings you over. And the first thing he shows you is a letter. He goes, dude, read this. And you grab this letter, and it's addressed to Otis. I'm sorry, no, I lied. It's addressed to Mr. Castle, the real father of Casey and Benji's father. And it's signed by Alan Gibson, the guy who drew and created Officer Barker. And it's a desperate letter saying, I can't control this anymore. I don't know what is happening. Your family is in danger. You need to leave. So the first clue you pick up is a desperate letter from Alan Gibson to one of the Benjamin Castle's parents. The next thing he shows you is one of those like Kmart family photos, right? Like way back when our families would drag us to a department store and there would be a photography section in the back of the department store. And they would always be these super cheesy pictures. And he shows you this and you grab it and it's a picture of the Castle family from back then. So you see young 4-year-old Benji. You see 7-year-old Cassandra, and you see the two parents. One of the family members, though, is decorated and wearing a leather dog collar in the picture. Who is it?
Do I answer now or we answer when answering the
I
question?
want to know, I want you to answer that now. So it's a picture, a family
dad.
picture of the Castle family, and the father is wearing a studded leather dog collar around his neck. So that is your second clue. Like, what do you think this all means, dude? Like, looks like
Kidding
like
me?
maybe it was
And
Gibson did Gibson kill the family? Maybe that weirdo who lives with his son.
did.
Maybe he's the one that killed the Castle family. And this picture, like, what if the father and Alan were having an affair, and Alan gave the Castle father the studded leather thing because they did weird stuff when they were like alone, and then the mother found out about it and she killed everybody. Dude,
Okay,
I've got
okay,
so many
okay.
ideas.
Okay. Hold your horses, case. We need to unwrap this step by step. I'm gonna talk to my friends there. You know, we managed to solve things and strange things happening here. So when we find out what's happening, I will definitely let you know. And but this Gibson guy, we visited him once, and I didn't like him.
He's
I didn't
creepy,
like
dude.
his place. Yeah,
Yeah, he's creepy.
for sure.
And his son is creepy too.
Promise me one thing, Casey. Stay away from both Alan, the Castle family, and man, stay out of this place as well with Benjamin inside and all the things happening. Just, do. I'm not saying don't do any crazy stuff, but don't do any crazy stuff, please. Just stay away from these people.
No, it's all cool, dude. It's all cool. It's all cool. Yeah, no, I get it. You got your friends and stuff, and you want to hang out with them, and you'll figure this all out with them. That's cool. Like I'm just gonna take my scooter, and then you know where I'm gonna hang out? I'm gonna go hang out with Elliot later. Peace, dude.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's safer.
He runs off and gets on his scooter and heads out. The three of you watch this whole interaction. You guys see Casey leaving.
Mike returns like with the letter and the photo in each hand, and like, you wouldn't believe what he just showed me. And I go through the clues with the team.
So let's do this real quick because it's been a little while. Let's take a quick look at our current questions that we have out there that are unanswered. So we have one that's a complexity 6. The question is what kind of entity is Officer Barker, and what does it want with Deep Lake? And if we answer that question, the opportunity it opens up is we resolve this mystery and we negotiate with the entity for its departure, or we lure it so you guys can capture or destroy it. Second question that relates to this is how can Officer Barker be untethered from Deep Lake? This is only complexity 4, and the opportunities it will also resolve this mystery, and you get to perform an unbinding ritual based off of your answer. And clues wise, I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, including your wilds. You guys are outside the
we
hospital.
already know at least a facet of that first question. What does Barker want with Deep Lake, right? Benji kind of helped explain that in the scene with Richard. There's a cleansing to be made here, and
everything's covered in black shit.
Right, we got to get the mop. Yeah, and the mop is actually just a butcher knife, right? So at least that's the direction I'm going in as far as like what does he want with Deep Lake? He wants the place to be rid of evildoers, whatever lens he's looking through.
So that would be the answer to the question. I need to know of your clues because this is complexity 6.
Yeah, that was just really the starting point. I don't know where to go from there.
I know what kind of entity I think he is, but everyone thinks that's stupid. So,
what kind of entity?
I think it's a werewolf.
It is kind of stupid, though, right?
I think Dennis turns into werewolf? Officer Barker somehow, and that's why there's all this silver shit that Alan was trying to use to control him. That's why there's the silver dog collar and the silver handcuffs. That's why there's footprints that turn from barefoot person footprints into dog footprints.
So but here's something that's interesting.
I never been right before, so
here's something that's interesting is Gerard is answering one half of the question. Cody's answering the other half, right? So what kind of entity is Officer Barker? Gerard says it's Dennis and he's a werewolf, a werebeast of some sort. And then Cody is trying to answer the second part, which is, and what does it want with Deep Lake? Cody is saying it wants to cleanse it.
I don't know what one has to do with the other, but
between the two of you, you've got potential answer to the question, right? Which is a 2-parter. The question is do we have clues that can back this up?
Well, I think we should check out the hospital, see what else we can get first.
Well, we could then.
My thought is the hospital. Once we investigate this hospital, I think we'll hopefully have a more clear, concise story based on what we find, because there's a few looming questions on what's here that might help us direct it.
We do the hospital and then we try to answer the question, right?
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
So you guys come into the front lobby. Nobody is covered in black ichor. There isn't a Officer Barker mask on the counter. What there is, though, is behind on a desk, and you got the front lobby. You've got a nurse there. He's standing there. You can see there's like a desk with a computer behind him, and you see a framed sketch of Officer Barker signed by Alan Gibson. And he's clack, 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 clack. He's typing away, looking at a screen as you walk in, but he's facing, he's at the front desk.
Yeah, we didn't think about how we approach this, right? 4 random guys entering hospital.
Cody's
Well,
at the nearest vending machine. He didn't eat breakfast this morning, so he's deciding if he wants pretzels or chips.
Oh,
You guys look around and Gerard he's not there.
Huh?
He
So it's-
slipped off somewhere.
Oh, okay. You guys turn around and there is no Gerard. You see Cody. Cody's trying to decide between chips and pretzels. Mike and Richard, you turn around and just like Gerard is gone.
I guess Mike is doing the. I guess we do it now.
yeah. We lock eyes and go. We know what we got to do. Is there a name tag or something of the person behind the counter that's up there?
Yep, Davidson. It just says Davidson.
Excuse me, Davidson.
Yeah, yep. Just 1 second. Clack, 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 clack. Enter. He goes, yeah. What can I do for you?
That's a great signed picture you got there. I had to admire it. Wow,
Dude, I just think that whole story is just the craziest shit ever. I really do. And like, I remember the whole thing. And he kind of looks around. He goes, can I tell you a secret?
oh, yeah, please.
That Benji Castle kid, he's here. And he points up. He's staying here.
No kidding.
How cool is that?
That is pretty amazing.
Jesus. I mean, this is a stupid question, but do you think maybe we could, do you think we could see him somehow?
Ooh, yeah. How bad do you want to see him?
I see what you're doing there. I will slip him, I don't know, $10.
He goes, oh, no. I'm a collector. You guys are obviously into the Barker thing. What you got?
Look at Richard like if we want to share this. It's yours
Yeah,
after all.
I open up the backpack. I still have all the little box of goodies that was, and I rifle through and find a sketch on a napkin that was in that box. And I say, Dave sent you wouldn't believe this, but we're actually huge fans as well. And I show him the napkin. So
he grabs it out and he goes, holy shit.
Yes.
Did Alan draw this?
Yes.
Careful about it. It's on the napkin. Just don't just fling it around.
Oh, he very treats it like it's gonna melt in his hands. If he holds it too tight, he folds it up in a little thing and he goes, hey Sarah, watch the front desk for me. All right, come on, you two come with me. Hey, is your friend gonna make a goddamn decision or is he gonna stay here?
At that point, I've turned around, honey mustard, pretzels in hand, and I notice Gerard isn't there, and I immediately verbatim repeat what he said while at the house. Oh yeah, we'll stick together. We'll just make sure that we're all sticking together. And I'm walking to the counter, just complaining.
So I'm gonna take you up there, but you can't do anything, right? You can't get me in trouble.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, we just want to see him. How exciting is this? Ooh.
I think so too. Come here. So he's going to lead you to the elevator. Am I cutting to Gerard? What am I doing here?
Yeah, you cut to me.
All right. Where do we go?
So what's the security situation in the hospital? I assume there's lower security areas.
Yeah, you can't get into the patient area unless you're with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Can I? So if it's going to be a thing to get in there, I would like to try. I don't know. I'm watching. I'm I've ducked into. I'm in a hallway that ends in the doors to patient area, and I've kind of ducked into like a closet that's just open, or like an empty room that's the lights off, and I'm just like watching what the traffic is like there, and I'm just kind of watching and waiting for a moment where like maybe somebody's going and they don't, the door is really slow to close. Maybe it's like on one of those pressurized ones. So I'm waiting for somebody to be going in that direction and just kind of slip in behind them.
Yeah, so let's have an orderly while there's everybody's going ooh and eyeing over our napkin sketch. We have an orderly taking a tray with lunches on it, and he swipes his badge, bzzz, and the door automatically opens into the patient area. He says there, it starts to close. I'm going to need a night move from Gerard.
Sure.
What are you afraid is going to happen? Gerard, I think I want this with vitality. And
argument for composure, for keeping my cool and not panicking.
I think this is more sneaky. I think this is more clever. So I'm gonna insist on vitality. So what are you afraid is gonna happen if you get caught?
I'm just gonna trip, or yeah. So if I get caught, then the jig is up, and I'm be tossed out, or I'll have to explain to the only cop in this town, Sheriff Handsome, what I was doing.
Yeah, I think it's worse than that. I think that, you know, that the orderly who you're trying to hitchhike off of here is not only going to see you, he's initially going to try to kind of like manhandle you out of here, but it's worse than that because he's going to stop and go, "How did you get out?" And he's going to mistake you for a patient.
Okay. So I thought I thought that was, he was like, that was true, and I was a patient at some point. Him mistaking me. Okay,
let's go ahead.
So what about my new move? Is this in opposition of the
so talk to us, let's talk about the new move.
So I have a custom latchkey move that I've written that reduces my vitality incidentally by 1, but it means that hostile people and entities tend to ignore me or overlook me if there's other latchkeys or distractions or anything nearby. And I also get advantage on the first time I use this against somebody because they're underestimating me.
Got it. We're going to do this against potentially against the orderly. So let's do it with advantage.
Okay.
So I've got a night move vitality with advantage. Success, but so door slides open. He goes through and you able to slip right in there. I want to give you a condition for the success, but let me think.
Trespasser.
No, I think the condition is looks like a patient.
Okay. I wore the wrong outfit today. I'm wearing a smock.
All right. So I'm going to stay with you, Gerard. So you're in the patient's area.
Okay. So I know exactly where I'm going. I take a left and a right down these hallways. And like, whenever I hear somebody like coming, I kind of like either duck into a room or look busy or something. And I'm slipping down, and I find a set of stairs first, stairs going up. So I go up a level. What level is Benji going to be on? 2? Okay. I go up 2 levels to level 3. And again, I still know exactly where I'm going, left, right, left. And I end up in a room that's like half lit with another comatose patient sitting, lying on a bed. And I kind of come in and close the door and pull up a seat next to him. And it's like an old man who's like withered, and like he's skeletal at this point, kind of like he's withered away because he's been like this for so long, and they're like maintaining him on fluids. I'm just kind of like sitting there for a while, silently, until I'm finally like, sorry, I haven't visited in a long time. I haven't been in the state, but I was back in town, and I know I should have come by here sooner, but I've just been really busy. But I don't know, just wanted to come see if anything's changed with your dad. But
let's cut to our 3 other latchkeys. We're going to come back to you though, Gerard.
Yeah.
You're there with Nurse Davidson. This door, no window, not marked. So as you've been going through, there's like different patients' last names. There's no last name on this one. He swipes his badge. He opens it up and he goes, like, they're going to be up here with food like in about 15 minutes, so don't take too long. And hey, like don't do anything weird with him, okay?
Oh,
and for some reason he's looking at you, Richard.
I kind of. We're good. We're good.
So he holds the door open. The 3 of you slip in, and you walk into moderately sized hospital room. One of those big, like mechanical, ornate hospital beds. And son of a bitch, same guy you saw on the street is laying there in a patient's smock, embroidered. It says Benjamin Castle. He's got an IV. We've got the beep, beep, beep. He's got the oxygen in his nose, and you can see in his nostril is a feeding tube. And you can see he's got some sort of gunk that they're pumping into him for nourishment.
It's not Black Ichor or anything, right?
Nope.
So Richard, is this the guy? Is this who you met in the night? Is this him?
Yes. Like what the? I'm gonna walk straight over to Benji, and I'm gonna expose
Careful.
his feet,
Careful.
his hands. I'm looking to see if, I mean, if he was in a coma for this long, his feet would be in a way different shape than if he's out sneaking around killing people at night. So I'm going to look for any kind of signs that he's been potentially in and out of this place.
He looks surprisingly healthy, but I do want a meddling move. So can you give me a meddling move with reason?
Yes. With reason.
Nice. So, Richard, how are you feeling? Realizing that someone who's been in a coma for 15 some odd years looks surprisingly spry.
I'd say worried, because I'm already worried, but I think on top of that, I think he's starting to get a little scared, possibly.
Let's go ahead and add that as a condition. So you are worried, scared, and reserved. So you're kind of like lifting up the sheets, kind of checking his legs, and he does not look like somebody who's been laying in a bed for 15 years. He seems to be laying on something though. And it's kind of a folded like legal size piece of paper, and you pull it out and you open it up, and it's a hand-drawn family tree. And at the top of the tree are all of these different living relatives. And they all have the last name Castle. 2 of them you recognize. You see Benji on that family tree, and you see Cassandra, plus a bunch of other relatives, aunts and uncles, and so on and so forth. At the bottom of this hand-drawn family tree, under the tree, buried, if you will, are the names of the father and the mother, the 2 dead Castles that were supposedly killed by Benji. But there's a 3rd name there. But you can't see it because it looks like the way it's drawn is that there's a dog that's digging at the base of the tree, and the piled up dirt is covering where that 3rd name would be. So your clue is an elaborately illustrated family tree. Branches are crowned with the names of the then living relatives, while the roots bear the names of the dead. A small dog is digging in the earth, pulling up a root whose name is blacked out. So there appears to be a third dead castle.
I show that to Mike immediately. What the fuck?
I mean, did you expect anything else but weird shit here? After
It's
what
only getting
happened?
weirder. I'm officially
Uh.
scared now. I put this in my
Wait.
backpack because the last thing I need is Davidson to see it.
Yeah, let's steal from
go-
a Momotose serial killer. It's fine.
And eat your pretzels, man. Like, you know, we went here to discover new things, and you know, being a best ghost bro, and like we have to do this. We're too knee deep in this thing.
I don't respond. Mouthful.
Richard builds
Okay.
up the courage to try and pinch the shit out of this guy to see if he wakes up.
Boy, you're breaking the record for the number of night moves that I've given a character in a card from Brindlewood. So I'm definitely going to need a night move from you, Richard. It's going to be with vitality. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this roll of pinching comatose Benji Castle?
Davidson thinks we're perverts.
Oh, Davidson's definitely going to think you're a pervert for sure. And it's worse than that.
Yeah.
Because Benji's going to wake up.
Don't giggle, Nick. That's not fun.
I'm trying to think of a way of failing this because that sounds so
I know.
odd.
I'm like wondering if you want to fail this one.
So, and just to be clear too, you can decide not to take the move, right? So you can decide to do something different now that you know the results. But otherwise, I need a night move with vitality. It's going to be at a disadvantage because you are worried.
Can you do it with such confidence?
Oh, for the
Yeah.
what Nintendo. I
Mhm.
kind of want him to wake up though. Like I don't want to succeed. Like this is
Cody kind of wants to
There's
be in
a
another
wake
room.
up and there's wake up, right? So maybe
that's
if
true.
you
I
succeed,
guess
there's
if I succeed, he just wakes up normally. Okay, I gotcha. I don't think what Nintendo would work with this because of my conditions, but let's see what happens. Before
wish I was with Gerald.
Key anything, I'd love to hear the.
Yeah, you pinch his thigh, and we see it happens very quickly, Mike and Cody, faster than either of you can react. We see Benji grab the back of Richard's hair on the back of his head, and you see the scalpel that he was hiding in his right hand go into Richard's neck.
Do I turn a key now?
And also, Davidson thinks you're a pervert. Don't forget that.
You don't have to.
Oh, that's the yeah. I got to turn a key.
Okay. You turn the key and you turn that into a success butt. So you pinch him. And he starts mumbling. You can't make out what he's saying, but he's verbalizing something. He's after pinching him.
Like an idiot, I'm going to lean in and try to understand what he's mumbling.
Why don't you give me a meddling move? This one is definitely going to be with composure.
Oh, I wish that latchkey move is applicable. Composure. Oh, I saw a disadvantage.
Yeah, so let's re-roll it. I'm not going to let you get worse than a success but take it off of disadvantage. I want to give you a chance to get better than that.
And it was composure again?
Yep. All right, so we'll take the first roll, which was the success, but you lean in and two things happen. One, you're able to make out what he's saying. And he's saying it over and over again. Stay rough on crime. Stay rough on crime. Stay rough on crime. He's just repeating the tagline from Officer Barker's messages, which is to stay RUFF on crime. So that's your clue, is Officer Barker's catchphrase, obsessively spoken over and over. Stay rough on crime. The condition I'm going to give you, though, is bitten ear. Because once you get close enough, he bites your ear.
Richard reacts, obviously. Oh, what the?
Well, why would you put your ear next to him? Like, Mike tries to reach for napkin or some piece of cloth that, like, put this on this. We should probably go now. Like, they. I mean, was it 15? What was his name? Davidson.
Yeah.
You're okay to go.
Oh, he's gone. He's just left you here. So you've been here.
Okay, and we can open the door and leave.
Yep. Let's cut back to Gerard
okay.
sitting with his father.
Yeah.
So I said he was comatose earlier. I want to back that up. He's not comatose. He's just like in and out of consciousness. So I see that, like, I'm waiting for him to kind of open his eyes and go through a wake cycle, which he does. And I say, "Hey, Dad, I know it's been a long time, but it's happening again. The things that happened so long ago and when I was a kid that you tried to
What are you
look
talking
into.
about?
Try to remember, Dad, the shit that happened when I was a kid all around town. It stopped happening for a while. I came back just on a whim, and now it's all started up again."
I think I need to poop.
Okay.
He dozes back off.
Damn. I'm gonna look around his stuff, because he's got like a side table, like journal and stuff like that, and like a drawer. I'm just looking around the room to see if anything I can tell about if he's been conscious enough to like take in anything that's been happening.
Yeah, so let's do another meddling move, and then let's do this with reason.
Metal? Oh, there it is.
So you start going through your dad's shit. And there's not a whole lot there. He's been here for a long time, but you find an old pair of jeans that you recognize as the jeans that he was wearing when he was brought in here, right? And you start rifling through the pockets and you find a folded up bumper sticker. And you pull that bumper sticker out, and it's a "Stay rough on crime" bumper sticker. But Officer Barker's face has been scratched off, just violently scratched off. So you've seen these bumper stickers before, "Stay rough on crime," and there's a picture of Officer Barker, and it's been scratched off and just defaced. So that's your clue, which is a depiction of Officer Barker on a bumper sticker, but has been defaced.
I'm going to turn a key to turn this. Can I? Oh, wait, no, that would just take it into straight success.
That would just take it
Not
to a
into
straight
it.
success. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
All right, where are we going to cut to? We've got the three of you leaving. Gerard, are you going to stay with your dad, or are we going to cut back out to the car?
I'm going to take a piece of paper and leave a note that says, "Dad, I'm in town. Call me if you hear anything. Leave a number." And then I'm going to step out and solemnly go catch the elevator down, because I see an elevator now. And I'm in the elevator, and I hit like L or 1, and the doors open on 2, and the other 3 get in to go down to the first floor.
Perfect.
And I'm not saying anything. Gerard's been like uncharacteristically quiet ever since they showed up, like even outside. So it's kind of silent in the elevator, and then we all notice at the same time the elevator music, and it sounds like. And that's it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take our second 10-minute break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll catch up with them back in the parking lot. We'll be right back.
Okay.
So the four of you are in the elevator. You hear the brake music, which everybody just got done hearing as well, that's playing in the elevator. The doors open, and the four of you are now in the halls heading out.
So I'm guessing that there's probably some commotion within the group. You know, Richard's ear is bleeding. Probably some conversations happening. Cody kind of slinks back just a little bit. He's a little distracted. Maybe he's finishing off the bag of pretzels. But in his peripherals, one thing does catch his eye: is there's an open door, uh, and what catches his eye specifically are the colors of his old football team. And he notices a football helmet, and this is all like within like a microsecond, right?
Sure.
So he notices a football helmet. He notices a few people in there, specifically two people, two adults, and a kid, but he doesn't see any faces. They're all turned away from him. And he also notices a football jersey hanging dry. It's still sopping wet. And when he looks back, it's gone. It's just an empty room.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah. And he doesn't mention it at all to the group. It's just a thing he sees. He throws away the pretzels, so maybe there's something in them.
Bad mustard.
And he just goes back into the group as they're heading out of the hospital.
And you guys are unmolested as you head out. When you get to the lobby and you're headed out, Davidson is back at his desk, and you can see him trying to figure out how to get the napkin also in with his other sketch. So he's got like the back of the picture open, the frame open, and he's trying to figure out how to create like so you can see both of them in the framed picture. So let's cut to you, gentlemen. Are we going to be in the parking lot? Are we going to be driving? Where are we cutting to?
I would like try to solve it as soon as possible in the car, probably, or maybe we drive a little bit on, not to be right in front of the hospital.
I like let's definitely start talking about it, but I kind of like I would like to lay out all of our physical stuff on like a surface so we can look at it all.
You want to go back to the house?
Yeah, but let's start
back
like
to the house.
talking about it in the car. Right.
Okay,
away.
great. So
as we're leaving, I mentioned to Richard, "Are you sure you want to leave? We're kind of at the right place to fix your ear, bud.
It's not that kind of hospital. I don't think.
Clean your shirt."
And hey, what happened?
Yeah, let's just get out of here. I want to get as far away from. No, screw this place. I'm done. Let's go.
I don't think he wants to share how he got to this injury to the personal.
No, I hide it the whole way out.
So we're starting to piece together and answer the question move. And I guess the first thing I need to know is, are we going to try to answer the complexity 4? How can Officer Barker be untethered from Deep Lake? Are we going for the complexity 6? What kind of entity is Officer Barker? And what does it want with Deep Lake?
We have enough clues. I think we should do the 6 one.
I've been thinking about that one more. I haven't
Okay.
thought about the other one for as long. So,
And I don't like being untethered from Deep Lake is not a good thing necessarily.
Yeah. Let's go anywhere else at once.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start off with the answer, and then you guys can piece together the clues. So what do we think is the answer to this two-parter?
Well, we know it wants to do a cleansing. Benji said as much.
Yeah.
And that fits with this whole thing of stay rough on crime. Like he thinks he's just interpreting crime differently than, sane people do.
So reason is cleansing and entity is werewolf.
Hey, I'm open to other ideas.
So I like the werewolf idea, but I'm leaning towards Benji potentially being that guy that potentially could be changing at night into that dog.
Oh, you think it's Benji?
It could be.
Well,
he's out there. We've got clues.
He beat Richard, so that's what dogs do.
Anyone paying attention to the cycles of the moon?
I mean, who knows which parts of werewolf lore actually matter? Like, I don't think he's literally, Wolfman werewolf, but like, I think that somebody is changing into Officer Barker. whether that is a werewolf or just some kind of shape changer or a skinwalker or something like that.
But I think the idea though is it's a transformation. Somebody's turning into this Officer Barker, and so that gets to the nature of this entity. I am going to want to know who that is when you guys finalize things. So if we are saying we're trying to cleanse or stay rough on crime, and somebody's transforming into this Officer Barker, that gives me a rough idea on the answers. Let's start talking clues.
Does it have to be a single person turning into a werewolf?
I was just thinking that. What if it's both of them? Or what if it can like take over anybody?
Yeah, that's kind of more the direction I'm thinking, because we've got this EP with Officer Barker. Like maybe he's somehow transfixing onto people through items, objects, art, music, anything that you can touch, feel, or hear can somehow connect you to this.
That's good. Let's go down okay, I'm from the top. Casey Wilcox had the dream about walking in the desert on all fours like a dog. So maybe that's what he was dreaming while Officer Barker was in his body.
Yep.
He had the chain in his pocket. The chain could be one of those focuses.
The choke chain. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's 2.
Yeah, we've got the footprints that turn from human into dog. That's evidence for the transformation.
Yep.
I think the EP makes sense too, because when played backwards, it tells you where to go to listen to this spirit of Barker, turn into him, go kill Cassie here.
Yep.
So that makes sense to me.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm good with that.
I like the desperate letter from Alan Gibson to Mr. Castle, because he might be the person who is like generating the items that make people change, but he doesn't know. Maybe Alan himself, but
and maybe
he knows that it's.
You go ahead.
The idea would be that he would be causing this through the items, because we found some at his place, I believe.
That's somehow hand-drawn stuff. Yeah, go ahead, DZ.
Yeah. Maybe at first it was like he was trying, maybe not trying, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it was first contained to Dennis. But that letter he wrote after he realized that other people were starting to become affected by it too. And that's what he means by it's getting out of control.
Dennis, but not the whole town.
All right, that's when he starts warning the family, because we have that picture and that whole situation.
Father's wearing the dog collar. That could be a channel item.
Yep.
Yeah. But that was channel for Otis, right? Or the.
Okay, so let me show you what I've got so far.
The Castle Father.
Yeah.
So I've the Castle Father. Okay.
So I've got the dream. That makes sense to me. So that's 1. The choke chain, which is what caused Casey to, break through and do this. And I like this idea, right? That this Officer Barker entity is possessing people. That's where all that destruction has happened, the burning of the convenience store, the whole thing, right? The tracks that was found behind the convenience store makes total sense to me as well. So that's 3. Identifying the LP, the EP as one of those things that's causing this transformation. I'm with that. So that's 4. The desperate letter is 5. That makes sense to me. The store portrait with the father wearing the dog collar.
And I'd like to extend that a little bit. I think I don't think it was his father that was doing all the harm. I think it was just one of those instances where little Benji got a hold of it, and that's what happened that night.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, so the dad was like maybe that they were even trying to stop it. And yeah, that's great that Benji
that's real good. That's real good. Okay, that has us at 6. We're rolling even now.
Oh, I'm only halfway down.
Maybe Benji was affected more than once, so that's why he's in the hospital. That's why he's repeating "Stay rough on crime."
Agreed.
Because when you are affected once, maybe you can shake it off with a little bit of trauma, but you're good. But if it's repeated, then it gets bad.
Yeah, "Stay rough on crime" is definitely evidence of Barker having previously been taking over him.
Okay, I got that as our 7th.
I think that my father was friends with Alan and with the castle father, and they were all kind of like starting to worry and work on this together. And that's why he has the bumper sticker.
Yeah, he pushed away from it.
They were the original Ghost Bros.
Before the internet.
All right, I'm good with that too. That has us at 8.
I say we roll with that.
I feel good with 8.
So we're +2, basically.
You're going to be a +2. So
wait. Reflections lie. Shadows speak truth when you find them. Like reflection, as in like people aren't who they really are. They're not in control of themselves. They're not their real selves. It's the shadow behind them, Officer Barker, that's really responsible.
Frickin' perfect. Yep, that's going to be a +3. So I'm marking that as well. That's one of your wild clues that you got this morning. All right, so that's going to be at a +3 then. And who do we think is going to roll this?
Who hasn't done one?
I mean, Gerard's related to someone who's involved, so
I think
and he got the idea with the reflections. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so let's do an answer or question move. Now, for those of you watching, before we do the move, they have now pieced together an answer to this question, that we've got some sort of possession transformation happening where Officer Barker is able to go with these types of memorabilia nodes created by Alan Gibson, is able to transform and possess these people, causing them to do bad things, starting with Benji Castle killing his parents, right? And the nature of what this entity wants, which is the second piece of this question, is he wants to cleanse and clean up and stay rough on crime. And all of these clues make total sense to me that they have figured what this is. If they succeed, then that is exactly what's happening. If they don't, they are wrong.
no pressure. What does that mean?
Maybe a little bit of pressure. Maybe a little of pressure would have been nice.
Now, remind me, I know in Brindlewood Bay we can't use a key for the answer a question. Can we use it in public access?
You said no last time. I
thought we couldn't, but I'm trying to.
Oh, wait, I didn't add the +3. I didn't add the +3.
Oh, okay. So that puts us at a 7. Okay.
Man,
we asked you to do this, so that makes it a success. So let's talk about that was pretty intense.
so many
that's why we want the +3.
All right, so we answered the complexity 6. So here's your opportunity. You can resolve the mystery by negotiating with the entity in exchange for its departure, or by luring it to you and then capturing or destroying it. So that's something that you guys can do, right? You can do either one, either negotiate it with it to get rid of it, or you can capture or destroy it. I think what we'll do is we'll have that. We'll give my 4 latchkeys time to think about it. So when we start up episode 7, let's find out what their plan is to get rid of Officer Barker. We're going to cut to credits, and then we're going to do stars and wishes. We'll be right back.
No tape?
Oh, no tape. Okay, let's do a tape.
Let's do tape.
Let's cut to a tape. Let's cut to the night. Let's do a tape.
Everybody wants to do a tape.
Yeah, let's do a tape.
But this whole episode, they felt like a tape a little bit, though.
All right, are we going to watch Neighborly Living?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, who's going to set it up for me? It is nighttime. Who pulls out the tape?
We've got a ritual at this point. We all have our designated seats on like the couches and sofa and stuff. We take turns getting to push the tape in and press play. I forget who went last. Maybe it's Cody's turn.
Brian says in the chat, Odyssey and chill. Okay.
This is our 5th tape, actually. I think I did the first one, so it might be my turn again. So
this is around back to you.
This is the 5th tape, which, by the way, opens up a new layer.
Oh.
So you pop the tape in. Neighborly Living episode 22 comes up on the screen, and kind of that homemade depiction, right? And this is an episode of Neighborly Living, which was a lifestyle and home improvement show that aired on TV Odyssey. Our episode opens with Paula Palmer She's a middle-aged housewife wearing a hot pink blouse and a blue pencil skirt. As she arranges a bouquet in a glass vase before welcoming the viewers to the program. So we see her just kind of arranging the flowers in this vase. I'm going to start off with you, Kyle. The set is carefully modeled after an idealized 1980s suburban home. Despite this, it's evident that her house occupies no real street. What shoddy attempt has been made to hide the more glaring flaws on this set?
I think it's obvious that the backdrop is just not real.
And how can we tell?
It looks like a cloth curtain. It's like you can see the wrinkles in it still. Like they didn't even iron it out.
Very nice. And the episode begins in Paula's kitchen for a cooking segment. Paula stresses the importance of sharing good food with your neighbors. Nick, as she prepares her family's famous casserole, how do we know she's not so subtly resents these neighbors for shallow reasons?
A little bit in the back where you see like some staged, bowl of utensils and some cooking ware and some canned goods and stuff. You see a very generic box of rat poison, and it's hard to tell unless you've seen what rat poison looks like, but it's obvious if you've seen a box of poison before that it's there. And as she's adding ingredients, she has this little spoon with some substance in it. She doesn't describe it, and she kind of winks and kind of does this, and it's the exact location where that box is right behind it. So she's signaling to the rest of the group.
A spoonful of sugar.
Spoonful of sugar.
So Vaslav, we cut to then Paula has invited her new neighbors, the Galdersons over for dinner. The family is composed of Mother Tracy, Father Richard, and their two adorable children, Billy and Veronica. Vaslav, what minor trespass of etiquette do the children make? And in what overdramatic or hostile way does Paula respond before putting back on the mask of hospitality? What do the kids do, and what does she overreact and respond?
The kids forget to put the napkin on their lap, not to get messed around. And the punishment that Paula gives them out, she puts the napkins over their heads, just like places them like that. And you need to remember that if you spill out the food, it should fall into the napkin that you should have prepared before. And she feeds each of them one spoon of the thing through the napkin, so it goes a little bit inside with the napkin. And one important detail, you notice on one of the napkin, there's a sketch of our friendly neighborhood dog signed by Ella.
Ooh, it's dinner time. From the head of the table, Paula is grinning wide and addressing the camera about the joys of communal dining. Richard and Tracy are barely in the frame, their heads slumped face first into the dishes before them. They are not moving. Off camera, the children are crying. DZ, what closing remarks does Paula offer the viewer before she grabs the serving knife and slowly advances out of frame?
Muted.
The camera slowly zooms in on her, and all color, like this, over like a really long time, like 30 seconds. It's very slowly going in on her face, and the screen is turning to black and white from color. And it gets full on, like up to like here, and she's staring dead down the barrel of the camera, and she says, "There is nothing." And then she like pulls her hand up to the camera and just like shoves it down.
Very, very nice. That is the end of our tape. I'm now going to cut, though, to Richard laying in bed, sleeping. We then cut to Gerard. Gerard's sleeping as well. We see Mike kind of tossing and turning in bed, but he finally gets comfortable and he falls asleep. And then we find Cody in his room at a desk, and we see the light from the screen on his face, and it's that dark blue reflection that tells us he's definitely on the forums. And Cody, as you're poking around the forums, the screen glitches a little bit on your computer, and then it glitches again, and then flips to a video. And there you see this large man, and he's not just physically large. He's large as he takes up the entire screen, and by his presence, not physically, just by the kind of the aura that he puts off. He's got this big cowboy hat on, and he looks and he goes, "Starting to figure things out, aren't you, Cody?"
I closed the laptop. Immediately, as soon as he says my name, closed.
The TV in your room turns on.
Perfect. Wonderful.
And you see our friend, the big man, the one that just said, "Starting to figure things out, aren't you, Cody?" He's walking in the desert. And as he's walking, you see that the sun is really bright. It's hot. You can see the sweat pouring off of him. And you're just transfixed watching him walk, because as he's walking, he's starting to wither. Almost like the sun and the heat is melting him. And the flesh on his face just kind of hangs. It's saggy as he slowly withers away. His eyes get milky, and his cowboy hat just loosely flies off of his head as he continues to walk. And finally, we see where he's walking to. He's now the skeletal of a man. The skin is just sloughed off. So his skin didn't tighten around him as he became gaunt. It's just drooping on him like somebody who lost a lot of weight in a span of 45 seconds. And he reaches his destination, which is this cave in the desert. And the same voice that called to you, Cody, calls into the cave. "Come forth if you must, great hunger, devil of the ancient world, render of flesh." And you watch a shadow emerge from this cave. But it's small. In fact, it's a little girl. And you realize that you recognize this little girl. It's Lucy from the Lumberjack Odyssey tape. And she is covered in blood, head to toe, and sporting a Sylvester the Squirrel puppet on her right hand. She looks you dead in the eyes when she gets into the light, and she winks at you, Cody. And the TV returns to being off. We're going to go to credits. We'll be back to do Stars and Wishes. All right. During the break, DZ, you said that you got the ship scared out of you, but would that miss?
Oh yeah, we'd be so screwed.
Well, let's start with you. We're going to do thoughts, stars, and wishes. So thoughts are how you feeling about where things are. Stars are what was the standout moment or moments in the game, and then wishes is what you're looking forward to. So let's start with thoughts.
Yeah, things ramping up a little bit. Seeing the connection between the mysteries is stuff that I like. The like, you know, with X-Files, for example, I love the Monster of the Week episodes more than the alien plot that like tied everything together.
Yep.
So I like that we're doing like kind of little individual things, but we also see the threads tying them to each other. So we get like very different kind of things, like the ghost house versus Barker.
And mechanically, just so you guys know, you guys are halfway through the game. So you guys have
Okay.
watched your 5th tape. After you watch your 10th tape, we go to the final mystery or the final questions that need to be answered. Vaslav, or no, I'm sorry. That was just
Tell us
the
that
thoughts.
after I insist on watching a tape.
Let's go to stars. What was the star moments for you, DZ?
I like that Cody is treating this with the same severity that Gerard very suddenly did the previous day. Like going through the same, like, holy shit, we're actually in really deep here, and I don't know if I want to keep doing this. So it's interesting to see that from the other side.
And wishes?
Yeah, I like people having the opportunity to go like do individual scenes and stuff like that. So it's just to keep striking that right balance of like solo scenes and everybody getting involved without like the Mike scene with Benji was really fun to watch and interesting. But it was like almost the first half hour of the game, so it took a little while for everybody else to get involved.
You're talking about Richard, not Mike, but yeah.
Richard, yes, sorry.
Yeah. For those of you that are watching live, I'd love your thoughts, stars, and wishes in the chat. And if you're watching on demand, go ahead and put it in the comments on the video here. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are, what your stars are, as well as your wishes. Let's go to you, Vaslav. Thoughts, stars, and wishes. Start with thoughts.
Thoughts. I like that we're unraveling let's say the main mystery. We have little hints of connection about the big man or the big guy. I don't know what his name is called, but I don't see yet the connection to the dog, to the mysteries we're solving in the real world. So this is basically, maybe I can transition to the wish. I wish that we get more of the connection, maybe with the next tape, to see how all the mysteries we're solving are tied into what we're seeing in the tapes and the appearance of this man. And star, for sure, the opening sequence, like how it transitioned from the date night and slowly getting more and more serious. I was so immersed in that first part that I didn't care that it was basically spotlight on Nick at that time. It was so fitting into this game and into this session that it set the pace for the whole day.
Very cool. Very cool. Nick, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Oh, thoughts. Another great session of role playing and character building and development. I think everybody is just hitting on all cylinders. And we're episode 6 now.
Yep.
Things are really coming to fruition, and we're fleshing out a lot of details, and people are getting more comfortable establishing their characters, which is awesome. We're seeing a lot of stuff happen across the board, and so I'm loving where this is going. So
stars and wishes.
So star, I had a star scene that involved Kyle and Voslov, where they got to narrate some options at the. That was just amazing to witness and see what happened, and then the creativity that came out of both of them. I almost seemed like one was trying to outdo the other. It was awesome. So I love that scene, that connection, and that challenge to try to see what could be established in the hospital. So that was cool.
Yeah, Brian in the chat, he says, I loved Vaslav's new ability. Can't wait to see that come into play more.
Yeah. Loved it. And then wishes, I had it in my head the whole time. I want more big man, and then we saw some big man, so I want even more big man. 'Cause
Okay.
I want to know what more is going on, and I'm hoping.
Bigger man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
you
hoping-
can if you turn the wandering monolith key, you can go look for him directly. Try to consult him.
I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Last but not least, Kyle, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
I think this is finally the session where we're really like we found the groove and we've settled into it. Seeing a lot of everyone seems so comfortable in either the character that they're playing or the world that they're in, and yeah, this might be my favorite session so far. I thought there was a lot of high moments in it. As far as stars, I think we could talk for hours about the opening scene, but the scene that I got the most joy from was Nick basically like with the big red button in the hospital room with Benji and just pressing it over and over. How far can I take this? How can I mess this up? Let's go. And he kept pushing it further and further, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And even like, who needs an ear, right? I mean, just the outcomes that came from it. It was great.
All right, and wishes.
Among all these moments that you're sorry that I'm stepping in, but among all these moments that you're describing, like DZ and his scene, your scene also, like when we were on the hallway, like these unravelings of the characters' past seemed like they naturally fit into the gaps between the big scenes that we had, and we had a lot of them this session. It just felt natural that everybody was adding to the story and we were writing it together.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Agree. All right, what you wishing for?
That ties right into my wish, actually. So as I'm getting more comfortable with my own character, and there's a heavy layer of history and nostalgia to this game, I would really love to see, like, we've already started to see a little bit more about DZ's character and his past, but I want to know more about Mike. I want to know more about Richard. Like, I know Richard is, arcade guy, right? But like, how did we get there? What does his past actually look like? And the same with Mike. I want to know more about these characters, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of dove in a little bit on Gerard and Cody, but you're right. We still have not learned a whole lot about Richard's time here and Mike's time, though we got a little glimpse with Cassandra, but no, I'm with you 100%. Who turned keys? Who owes me keys?
Mike did turn a key.
And what key did we turn?
So it was a key. I don't know the name. I just wrote it down. Flashback to when you felt genuine happiness as a child.
All right, let's flash back.
So we can see young Mike in the playground. Maybe he's around 10, 12 maybe years old. And he's on the playground. Other kids are playing around, but he's not playing directly with anyone. He's playing he has several things around him that seemingly don't make sense. Maybe there is a car, there is like small ping pong ball on the string, there is a lot of sticks, and when we look deeper and deeper into it, like when we wait what he's doing with it, we can see he's building one of those Rube Goldberg machines that the ping pong ball like swings, maybe hits a domino, and that continues on. And he really enjoys like the nonsense interaction between several things that it ends up in just a marble rolling off into a small hole. And this is like the moment when he likes the interaction, like you can put together many things into display. And even if we would look, it's maybe not a flashback, but if you would open today Mike's laptop, you would see on the desktop among like the Word documents that he writes for the blog, there would be a shortcut to a game called Tim Incredible Machine.
Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, quickly, who got some XP? So who made a mark and who got XP?
We should all get one.
Yeah, we all got one for the mystery. I didn't get anything else outside of that. So.
Put a signal on the napkin in the tape, like the drawing of the dog on the napkin.
Yep, that's definitely an XP. For the I forget what the name of that move is.
Get a signal from the other side.
Yeah, signal from the other side. That's right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Not sure if the share a good memory is in line with turning the key with a good memory. It feels like
I think I'm going to keep those separate. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Kyle, you said you got something?
The 3 that I've checked off were get a signal, be vulnerable, and deliver a chilling monologue. I don't think I got the chilling monologue so much, but the signal from the other side, I think I could push that with the hospital room that I got a glimpse of.
No question.
I think you were going for the monologue when you got up. Same, like
yeah, it was kind of a blend between being vulnerable and the chilling monologue. I'm fine with taking 1 point maybe as a combo, but so yeah,
I think vulnerable.
2 would. I got 2 points.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I resolved a mystery. Reconnect with Deep Lake was one of mine, which I went to go do with my father. And then I tried something a little different with the get a signal from the other side. I tried to get a signal to the real world with the intermission music in the elevator.
Some fourth wall breaking.
Mark it. 3 XP. Well done. Well done.
Don't think I shared a good memory though. So,
all right, guys, we're gonna head out. Coming up, we've got Limelight, and we have got. If you want to get more Nick, we've got Shiver coming up as well. Follow on all the media, blah blah blah, and got a Patreon. You know the whole thing. See everybody soon. This was a ton of fun.
It's great.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.